Have you ever looked at an old antique object and just, wondered about the stories it could tell?
Oh, absolutely. The history embedded in its very fibers or gears.
There's this incredible allure, isn't there, to things tied to a specific era or culture.
Definitely.
Today, we're not just observing, we're witnessing something really special. The meticulous restoration of a fantastic antique French roulette wheel from 1919.
Wow, 1919. So that makes it 106 years old today. Incredible.
Exactly.
And our mission on this deep dive really is to take you on that journey with the Restore TC Tubration 2. We're going to peel back the layers and truly understand not just, how this intricate machine works,
Right.
but the precise, painstaking process of bringing it back to its original gleaming glory.
It's not just fixing something, is it?
Not at all. It's about uncovering and preserving a piece of history, appreciating the engineering and artistry of a bygone era,
Yeah.
and honestly, seeing the surprising challenges that pop up when you try to breathe new life into something this old.
So when this roulette wheel was found, it was pretty much what you'd expect. A classic gambling game machine. Simple idea. Spin the wheel, drop a ball.
And see where it lands, that moment of pure chance.
Exactly. Structurally, it breaks down into two main components. The main wooden tray, and then the game wheel itself.
Yeah, and even when it was damaged, you could sort of see the clever design in those two parts. The real deep dive, though, started with figuring out just how bad the damage was.
Okay, let's unpack this restoration then. We'll
What?
start with part one. The main wooden tray, the foundation of the game.
Sounds good.
So this is the large central wooden tray. It holds the main axis for the game wheel to spin on. And it also has this outer tilted track with these things called speed-reducing baffles.
Ah, yes, those are crucial.
They really are. They interfere with a spinning ball, making where it lands much more random. That's sort of the core principle of roulette, right?
Absolutely, that randomness is key for the game's integrity. Now, during the initial look, the restorer found something interesting, a pre-existing repair on the tray.
Oh, really? Somebody tried fixing it before.
Looks like it. A loose section had clearly been worked on. Our expert, TC Tubration 2, used wood glue to basically re-secure it. It's fascinating, finding a past repair like that. How often does that happen with antiques? Does it change how you approach it, knowing you're fixing someone else's fix?
Oh, it's incredibly common, actually.
Yeah.
A huge part of the puzzle sometimes. You have to figure out if the old repair was any good, was the material right?
Right.
Sometimes you keep it, just reinforce it like they did here. Other times, you might have to carefully undo it and start over. It's a delicate balance, preserving history versus making sure the thing is stable long-term.
Makes sense. And while that glue was drying,
Yeah, they moved on to other parts. Smart use of time.
definitely. So then came the surface prep, a lot of sanding, right?
Yes, the entire tray was sanded using a 120 mesh abrasive mesh sandpaper. And this isn't just regular sandpaper.
No, tell us about that. What's special about it?
Well, this mesh type, it has this unique multi-porous structure. It means the wood dust doesn't clog it up, which makes the sanding way faster. Plus, you can just wash it out and reuse it.
Exactly. And for a piece like this, that's not just convenient, it's a real game changer. I mean, imagine trying to get a perfectly even finish on wood that's over a century old, where every little scratch tells a story. This mesh sandpaper, it doesn't just speed things up. Because it performs so consistently, it lowers the risk of accidentally sanding too much off delicate areas.
Right, you get a uniform surface.
Which is crucial for the next layers, the finishing layers. They need to stick perfectly to really bring out the wood's character without messing up that historical patina.
And it wasn't just surface stuff. They found a larger crack on the bottom of the tray.
Okay, so structurally compromised too.
Yeah, and this needed a technique called patching to fix it properly. Why patching, though? Why not just fill the crack with wood filler?
Well, patching is often much better for structural cracks, especially on historical pieces. See, instead of just filling it, you carefully remove the damaged wood around the crack. And then you insert a new piece of wood, shaped precisely, that matches the grain and the material.
Ah, so it becomes part of the structure again.
Exactly. It makes for a much stronger, more stable repair. And it looks better too, blends right in. It's designed to last, not just cover up the damage.
Gotcha. And for any other missing bits on the tray, they did use a wood-colored wood filler to blend it all seamlessly.
Right.
And then for that really refined, delicate surface texture, the final touch was steel wool.
Ah, the classic finisher. So once all the repairs and filling were done, time for sealing and finishing, I assume.
Yep. First, a wood sealing primer. This stuff is pretty essential.
Why's that?
It helps the next layer stick better, it seals up the wood pores so they don't just soak everything up, and it boosts the overall gloss at the end.
Okay, good base layer.
Then after the primer, they applied a resin wood finish. This type, once it dries, forms this really hard, transparent protective layer. It's designed to protect the wood for, well, hopefully decades.
Nice. Durable.
And speaking of support, let's not forget the feet. The 3 support feet for the tray got the same treatment.
Oh, right. Individually prepared?
Yep. Sanded, polished, then the same primer and finish, and finally stuck on securely with epoxy resin.
See, that attention to every single component, no matter how small, that's what makes a restoration truly complete and, built to last.
Okay, ready to move on to part 2, the game wheel, the heart of the action.
Absolutely. This is the exciting bit.
It really is. This is the core component, obviously.
Yeah.
It's got the 37 number slots, 0 through 36, and, typically the 0 slot is green.
Right, with the others alternating red and black.
Exactly,
Yeah.
which allows for all those outside bets, single numbers, colors, odd even, that sort of thing.
But this wheel needed some serious work first.
Yeah. For the initial surface treatment, the restorer started by spraying the whole wheel with black gunmetal spray paint.
Okay.
Then used a copper sander just to meticulously knock off any surface burrs, get it perfectly smooth.
Crucial for a wheel that needs perfect balance. So what about the damaged bits, the uneven sections on the wheel itself?
Right, those were filled using a mixture. It involved a curing agent, and they're called sawtooth filler particles.
Sawtooth filler particles, that sounds specific.
It is. They're not like regular smooth filler. Their shape, it's jagged, like tiny saw teeth. This lets them interlock really deeply within the damaged area. It creates a much stronger, more durable bond than smooth fillers would.
Makes sense for something like a roulette wheel that's constantly moving, experiencing friction.
Exactly. It's not just filling a crack. It's like reinforcing it structurally, almost at a microscopic level.
Wow. Okay, so after that?
After that, a white epoxy primer went on, followed by more sanding again to help adhesion, get rid of any tiny imperfections, really slatten the surface.
And then the final coat.
The final layer was a high-gloss black top coat, made the wheel look absolutely stunning, really clean.
Nice. So paint done. What about the numbers?
Once that top coat was dry, self-adhesive number stickers were applied very carefully. And then, this is crucial, a clear coat was sprayed over them.
To seal them in.
Exactly. Seals and protects the stickers, make sure they last. Oh, and they also put a felt circle on the bottom of the wheel.
For smooth spinning, less friction.
Precisely. But even with all that filling work, there was still a concern about the structural integrity, specifically for the internal baffle boxes.
The little compartments where the ball finally lands.
Yeah, the filler wasn't quite enough reinforcement there. So the restorer came up with this really ingenious solution, creating a stiffening ring.
A stiffening ring. How?
Made from a right-angle copper bar. This is where the ingenuity really comes in.
Okay, tell me more. Why copper? Well, the original material around those boxes was just too compromised. So they took this copper bar, removed one side of the right angle,
Right.
and then bent the remaining strip into a perfect circle, and guess what they used as a mold?
What? Something high-tech.
Uh-huh.
Same size trash can lid.
No way, a trash can lid. That's brilliant. And maybe a little unexpected for this kind of project. Does that sort of highlight the improvisation you sometimes need in a high-level restoration?
Absolutely. I think it's a perfect example of thinking outside the box. Sometimes the best tools aren't, bespoke factory machines.
Yeah, right.
It's everyday objects repurposed with cleverness. It's that mix of technical skill and creative problem solving that really defines craftsmanship, especially with unique old pieces where off-the-shelf solutions just don't exist.
True craftsmanship. So they bent it around the lid.
Got the perfect circle, then sawed out the slots needed for installation and gave it a double-sided polish. The fit of this new reinforcement ring was apparently spot on. Perfect.
Amazing work.
Now this next bit. This observation really changes how we look at this specific wheel. A detail emerged. This wheel 0 is black.
Black, not the usual green.
Black. And that's not just a color choice, is it? It tells us something important about this wheel's background, its history, maybe how it was used.
That's right. A black azo is a real telltale sign of its French origin and probably its specific era. In French roulette, the 0 plays this unique, kind of strategic role for the house.
The dealer's secret weapon.
Often called that, yeah. Because usually bets on red, black, or odd even lose when the ball hits 0. But what makes wheels like this one truly fascinating and different from later American wheels are the player protection rules it was likely designed for.
So the physical design reflects these game rules. That's a neat connection between the engineering and the game itself. What are those specific rules?
The main ones are la partage, which means the sharing. If the ball lands on 0 and you made an even money outside bet, you get half your bet back.
Okay, like surrendering half.
Exactly. The other one is en prison, in prison. Here your bet is imprisoned or frozen for the next spin.
Okay.
If you win that next spin, you get your original bet back. If you lose, well then it's lost.
So you get a second chance, sort of.
Kind of. And it's important to note, players usually don't get to choose between le partage and in prison. It's typically set by the house or the table rules. But these rules offer players a bit more protection, which you don't usually find in, say, American roulette.
Fascinating how the game mechanics are tied to the object's origin. Okay, back to the physical work on the wheel. Those individual baffle plates, the ones separating the number slots.
Yeah.
The restorer cleverly used leftover copper strips for making that reinforcement ring.
Ah, resourcefulness again. Nice.
Cut them to size, shaped them by sanding, and then subjected them to this really impressive 1-hour long-term tumble polishing
Tumble polishing with what?
with ceramic polishing media for a truly perfect finish.
Wow, an hour long. That's dedication. Why tumble polish them for so long?
Well, it's not just about shine. Tumble polishing uses the gentle friction of that ceramic media over a long time to smooth out every tiny burr, every microscopic imperfection.
Oh.
It achieves this incredibly uniform and durable surface finish. Much better than you could likely get by hand polishing such small, intricate parts.
Makes sense. Consistency is key. So, after all that, the wheel components were ready for assembly.
Yep. Finally, all these meticulously prepared game wheel parts were assembled, bringing the heart of the roulette wheel back to life.
Fantastic. So that brings us to part 3, final touches and assembly.
Right. Back to the main wooden tray for a moment. The wood glue on that initial repair had completely dried by now, so that section was securely fixed. A solid foundation.
Good.
And then, those rhombus-shaped speed-reducing baffles, remember them. The individual pieces on the main tray's track.
The ones that increase randomness.
Exactly, they got their treatment too. Sanding, shaping, and double-sided polishing. And it's interesting, large roulette wheels often have more of these baffles, sometimes even multiple circles of them.
To make it even more random.
Precisely. It's a design choice that directly affects the core mechanic of the game, ensuring unpredictability.
Right. So with all the little pieces done, the grand finale.
The grand finale assembly, bringing the two main process parts, the wooden tray and the game wheel, together at last.
That must have been a satisfying moment.
Oh, I bet. Seeing them finally unite into this fully functional, cohesive machine.
And just like that, after 106 years, this antique French roulette wheel was officially restored, back to its authentic, gleaming beauty.
The transformation is just incredible when you think about it.
It really is. To see it beforehand, almost, looking like it could shatter,
Yeah.
and then witness its revival into this fully functional, magnificent object, it's just astonishing. It really speaks to the patience, the skill, the deep knowledge of materials involved.
So what does this all mean for us, for you listening, this deep dive into restoration? It shows so much more than just, fixing an old thing. It highlights this intricate blend of craftsmanship, engineering,
Yeah.
even psychological design maybe, embedded in these historical objects.
Yeah, it pushes us to appreciate the hidden complexities behind games that seem simple on the surface, and the real challenges in preserving the story held within the object itself.
It's a reminder that every single detail, from the type of wood they used to the exact angle of a baffle, it was all intentional.
A product of its time, reflecting human ingenuity.
So here's a final thought for you to ponder, something to mull over. We focused a lot on the physical restoration mechanics. But what new perspectives does understanding the rules of a game like roulette, those intentional elements of randomness, and even those player protection rules like l'Aubertage and prison we talked about, offer about human nature, about our relationship with chance, with risk throughout history?